Holla Peeps, it's your girl Sheree reporting live for SchreeTV. Holla, what you say? It's today. Hold up. Happy Whacked Out Wednesday, everyone. I hope everybody's having a great day, despite the fact that the government is still shut down. I want to acknowledge Shay. Sandra's little girl's not feeling well. I hope you feel better soon, little one. It sucks when you're sick. Shout out to Frank, the chess. Holla boyfriend.
I know I should have health insurance, but on my budget I just can't afford it. I need help.
I design homes to protect people, but I can't afford health insurance to protect my own family. What can I do?
It's time to call ICANN, a name you can trust. If you've had problems affording major medical insurance or have been turned down due to health issues, you do have a choice.
Watching Nancy.
ICANN offers you options including association group insurance programs and major medical plans to meet your family's needs and budget. Because nothing is more important than your health. No matter
I tell you what, this new healthcare bill, a lot of people flocking to the site. I mean, millions. Like bazillions of people. Not a bazillion, but you know what I mean. Lots of people taking advantage of the new healthcare bill, and rightfully so. It's exciting. And Congress is still not at work.
Just 23.
Let me say.
Florida.
All right. Mr. O'Reilly, is the purpose of killing Jesus to stir up controversy and make another pile of money? That's it. You nailed it.
Bill O'Reilly turned from him. Everybody talking about Michael Jackson because the trial is over. AEG is not responsible, according to the law, for Michael Jackson's death. I'm sure that we all figured that out. Like, how would they know? Alright, MSNBC's talking about the government shutdown.
You've covered Capitol Hill, you've also covered financial markets. Is that the unity means if they're getting more unified, it means they're getting more unified in the run-up to the debt ceiling fight.
And that is what worries me, and that is what has me jittery. I mean, I don't like that idea of going toward October. At this point, and your viewers should know, we have already hit the debt ceiling, right? Okay, we hit it in May. Right?
Government needs to open up.
They're moving money around, that's fine. So
at a certain point, they run out of gimmicks.
It's ridiculous.
They run out of gimmicks. I think, and House Aide told me today, they think their members will fall in line around the debt ceiling.
Wait, we fall in line on the side of?
Fall in line on the side of
voting to increase it. Okay.
Had meetings all day today. Feels good to be in something so comfortable. You know how when you come home and you can finally slip into something like that you can breathe in and you're nice and comfortable.
That has me genuinely worried. I didn't think we'd be here. I really didn't think we would, but here we are. Lizzie O'Leary from American Public Media, political scientist Jacob Hacker.
Baby's gone now.
Connecticut. Thank you so much for that.
On a meeting by herself. Without me.
Happy sitting in for Rachel tonight. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening, Chris, and thanks for that. And thanks to you. Thank you to all of you for joining us at home at this hour. Rachel has the night off. She will be
Just
back
me and you,
tomorrow.
peeps.
Welcome to another day in this extraordinary shutdown of the federal government, with workers furloughed and offices empty, Twitter accounts frozen.
Twitter accounts frozen. Let me check my Twitter.
Not been through in nearly 18
What you
years.
say?
Washington
You start
State
talking about
President
Twitter,
Obama
you
met
wrong,
with
honey.
Congress, with Republicans and Democrats from both the House and the Senate. He also sat for an interview with CNBC's John Harwood, and in that interview he was pretty direct.
Am I exasperated? Absolutely, I'm exasperated because this is entirely unnecessary.
He's exasperated, y'all.
Right now where if
President.
John Boehner, the Speaker of the House, puts a bill on the floor to reopen the government at current funding levels, so that we can then
That's some
negotiate
good smell
on a budget
lotion.
that allows us to stop governing from crisis to crisis, it would pass. The only thing that's stopping is that John Boehner right now has not been willing to say no to a faction of the Republican Party that are willing to burn the House down because of an obsession over my health care initiative.
As the president there continuing to point out that while the shutdown is often described as a fight between Democrats and Republicans, it's just as much, if not more so, a fight between Speaker Boehner and the far right of his own Republican Party. In the era of the Tea Party, the idea of any Republican legislative leader being powerful in the traditional sense is kind of archaic. Boehner was never a natural fit for where the GOP base is these days.
Things seem to be operating well over at my Twitter page.
Wave sent dozens of new Tea Party-backed lawmakers to Congress in 2010.
Getting to shoot SchreeTV.
He was an insider. He was a Washington lifer. He was first elected to Congress in 1990. He's been there ever since. He's risen through the ranks. He's fallen down. He's climbed. And he finally reached the top of the mountain 3 years ago. But when he got there,
the top of the mountain is at Congress.
He is exactly
well, listen, top of the mountain. Y'all need to wake the hell up and get back to work. People getting tired of waiting for y'all. Okay? Sort out your differences behind the doors once you get back to work. Okay?
One front is the all-out partisan war on Obama and the Democrats that we all know about.
The people are sick of it.
That war is essentially a purge. It's an intra-party purge within the Republican Party against not just ideological impurity, but the idea of the party establishment. The Tea Party is existentially opposed to entrenched power, to the people who get to D.C. and then catch Potomac fever. The people like John Boehner, who long before he was Speaker helped bring you big government policies like No Child Left Behind. He was in the right place at the right time in 2010, but from the minute he claimed that Speaker's gavel, Boehner's been a supremely suspect guy to the Tea Party. This has made him an extremely weak speaker. It made him an extremely weak speaker from the get-go. We've known this the whole time. He's always been just one false move away from being the next Tea Party victim. What we didn't know, though, what we didn't know until now, is that the incredible weakness of his first 2 years as Speaker actually got worse. It got about 1,000 times worse because of two events that played out 9 months ago. Let's go back to the last really big standoff between House Republicans and the White House. The one called the...
I want to give a shout out to the Betties. Holla! Very, very excited. The Betties are going to provide the $75 prize for On Your Mind Idol. If you'd like to participate in On Your Mind Idol, just call in and audition. You can sing, you can play the piano, whatever your talent is. Poetry. Call in while we're on the air. Audition. It's just that easy. On Your Mind Idol set to start next week. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Their own speaker's plan. Plan B it was called. That rings a bell. They just didn't think they could trust Boehner. Now this was all at the end of December.
Not like a clown.
It was a humiliating blow for the speaker. And then things actually got worse for him just after the new year. This is when a group of conservatives plotted to deny Boehner the votes to retain his job as Speaker for the new Congress. Congressman Steve Sutherland, he's one of the freshmen elected in the 2010 elections, one of those Tea Party freshmen who is now a Tea Party sophomore. He met with that group the day before the vote on the speakership. But late that same night, he then stumbled on a Bible passage that seemed to him like a sign from God. I don't know how your education in these things holds up, but I personally found this Lego rendering from the Brick Testament super helpful. It's the story of David and King Saul in the Hebrew Bible. David is the one in red hair. David is going to replace Saul in the story. That's God's plan. But when David gets the chance to kill King Saul and take over the throne, he orders one of his soldiers not to go through with it. He orders him not to kill him. He lets Saul remain in power. In that story, the Old Testament coup delayed was the one that Congressman Sutherland said. He said this to the Washington Post. He said God sent his way on the eve of their vote on John Boehner's future. And based on that divine inspiration,
John Boehner
decided it would not be right to depose Boehner. So
Boehner.
The next day, Boehner stood by.
Boehner, Boehner, Boehner.
Republicans cast their votes in that Speaker's election.
Gomer. Brown of Georgia. Allen West of Florida. Wolfcamp. Bridenstine. Cantor. Jones. Pierce. Yoho. Cantor. Massey. Amash.
Now, that spectacle, Republicans calling out random names in the vote for Speaker, was an indignity that no previous Speaker had endured. In the end, Boehner did end up with enough votes to keep his job, but it was only barely. He won that thing by 6 votes, including the vote from the congressman who based his vote on the Bible story. That is how close John Boehner came to being overthrown this past January. And that is the John Boehner that we're seeing right now. Washington lifer trying to
It's ridiculous.
Tea Party newcomers, knowing full well that his
This whole
fate
Tea
was
Party
ultimately
bullshit.
in their hands. This week, our friend Ezra Klein got a chance to ask an editor at the Conservative National Review why John Boehner doesn't just jam a spending bill through and end this whole shutdown mess. He has the votes, just not from a majority of Republicans. That editor told him, quote, "Ever since Plan B failed on the fiscal cliff in January, and you saw Boehner in near tears in front of his conference, he's been crippled." In this, quote, "What we're seeing is the collapse of institutional Republican power." If this is true, as it seems to be, that Boehner is so weak as Republican House Leader, then you have to wonder where he is capable of doing anything.
All this bullshit is bullshit. They need to go ahead back to work so that people can get back to their lives. And that's all I got to say on the matter. Anyway, everybody, it's your girl Sheree, signing off for SchreeTV. Hey, how does that affect global travelers? Because if it's affecting Homeland Security, how's it affecting security around the world for Americans? Just something to think about. Something to opine. I love you guys.